Hello, all spiritual seekers, whoever is seeking truth, seeking being, and seeking consciousness. What is holding us back from achieving, quote unquote, achieving what we want to be in the future? What we ultimately want to be as an enlightened being in this world. What is holding us back is our biggest fear and our biggest desire in life. What is our biggest fear? Our biggest fear is dying. Our biggest fear is dying. What is our biggest desire? What is kind of the opposite of dying is immortality. I want to exist forever. Okay, why do we fear dying? Dying is unknown to us as it is right now, as we are right now. We don't know what dying is going to be like for us. And we have assumptions, we have these human-created ideas, and we conceive that dying is going to be very difficult and painful. And that is kind of the opposite of the happiness that we feel in life. We have received this idea from society and people that we've talked about death with. But death is not really what we fear, because death, we're not scared of what we were before we were born. It's not really anything to be scared of because it's just nothingness. Nothingness is nothing to be scared of because it's no thing. There's nothing happening, so there's no fear. And that's what death is. So I don't know. People say I'm scared of death, but really we're scared of dying. The process of your body ending. And the reason why it's scary is because we're attached to our bodies. We're attached to this life that we're living right now. We're attached to my ego. We're attached to the inner voice in our head. We're attached to the little pleasures that we receive. We're attached to the little addictions we have. We're attached to the people in our lives. We're attached to even the kind of beauty, even the good things and the bad things of life. We're attached to those. It's because we believe that we are our ego. And that's the thing that we see as dying when we die. We see that our ego is going to die. Kind of my life is going to end. Okay. So what we desire is immortality. We say, I want to exist forever. I have this great desire to exist forever. But what is going to exist forever? You say, oh, I want to, right? You say, my ego, myself, my story, my life story, my life, how I am right now, my body. Or I guess whenever I was as the most attractive as I was, I want to be that kind of like in heaven. I want to live in heaven forever as the most attractive, in my most attractive time. But do we really think that is what is going to be existing into the future? Your body, your human story. Forever, is it going to be human? Is the thing that is going to be forever and immortal, is that going to be human? Probably not, right? What's the essence of humans is that they live for 60, 80, 100 years and then they die, right? So if we want immortality, it can't be this life. It can't be this body, this mind, this inner voice that you have today. That's not going to be the thing that lives forever. Okay, so that is what's keeping you back, is you're attached to the life that you're living, and that's what you want to exist forever. That's the attachment, that's the myth, that's the story that you want to perpetuate into the future forever. Okay, so how can we go beyond this? It's obviously not attaching to your ego, not attaching to your story. That is how ultimately you have no desire for immortality and you have no more fear of dying. Is you just detach yourself from your life, okay? But it's not you that's doing it, okay? We have to think about the two yous that I'm talking about. The one you is your life story, And the other you is your essence, your nature, you could call it your soul, but it's not your soul, it's just soul. It's the thing that will always exist, okay? And this always existing is just existence itself, okay? It's not anybody's. It's not like it's Peter's existence or Steve's existence or Muhammad's existence, right? It's just that it is existence, and that's the thing that exists forever. So how do we become immortal? We become existence itself. We relinquish, we get rid of, we let go of the ego, and we become existence forever by letting go of all of these little attachments that we have in life. We let go forever of that. Where can we find this existence? Well, just close your eyes for 5 seconds and say, oh, it's here right now. It's outside of me, it's inside of me, it's here, it's always now, it's always now, it's always now. The forever is just now. The past is not forever, the future is not forever, only the now moment is forever. By living in the now moment, by becoming the now moment, by relinquishing yourself and becoming the now moment, now we can truly be immortal and not fear dying ever again. And that comes from, how do we do this? We actually have to die before you die. So the process of letting go of who you are is, you could call it spiritual death. Death via spirituality is your dying by becoming the now moment. The reason why the now moment is so scary is because your ego is telling you, don't live in the now. Your ego is telling you, live in the past, live in the future. There's pleasures in the future, right? There's regrets in the past. We have to plan for the future. Our happiness is in the future. This is your inner voice describing to you what could be for your body and your mind in the future. And that's just human level happiness and human level contentment, which is going to end at your death. It's going to end forever at your death. Okay, so we have to give all that up to become the now moment, the immortal universe. Right? Even beyond the universe, it's just existence. Okay, the universe is just a little aspect of all of the existence. So we have to become the existence by letting go of our little self, our little human self. We let go of that. The little self becomes kind of just like a machine or a system in the system. It becomes a part of the system because you realize you had no free will to begin with. Everything in your life was determined by your environment and the universe and the people around you, society. It was all determined anyways. There's nothing in you that's making a decision. We are told that we are making decisions because we want our egos to exist. Actually, our egos want themselves to exist, so they convince ourselves that we have free will. Okay? You have to give up the idea of free will to become existence. Okay. Freedom of will is the idea of freedom of will is keeping us back from becoming all of existence. Immortality is the true immortality is letting it go. Okay, but we have to spiritually die. We have to die via spirituality for that to happen. Okay, so in that sense, we do have to die, but only spiritually. Our bodies continue existing even if we die spiritually. Our bodies are going to continue being themselves, but in just a pure form. They're going to be an enlightened self. The self is going to know what it is. So you kind of are walking on the earth with pure love in your heart. But it's not you. You are the love. You aren't the one having the love. Because you as existence can't have anything. Only egos can have things. Right? But you're not the ego, so you can't have it. Okay? So the ego is having the love in its heart, in his or her heart. But you are the love, you are not the ego. And that is what's going to happen after your spiritual death. You're going to become everything. You're going to become the sadness, you're going to become the happiness, you're going to become just kind of the cause and effect, the causality of all existence. You become that. So it might sound very scary to die spiritually, but you got to think of the potential. There's no more fear and no more desire ever, right? What is the nature of desire? It's that you want it in the future. It's actually suffering. Desire is suffering. What is fear? Fear of the future, trying to protect myself. That's also suffering. So life is full of fear and desire. And that's what suffering is you get attached to the desire, attached to the fear, attached to people, attached to yourself, attached to your addictions. This is the nature of suffering. So to go up above and beyond it, we let go and become the now. We become the forever immortal now. But we have to let go of ourselves via spirituality for that to be. So let's just be ourselves. Let's just be our true self in the now. Let the mind do whatever it wants to. You aren't the mind, right? We just said we don't have free will. We aren't the mind, so just let the mind do whatever it is, because it's not your mind. Your mind is actually a culmination of society. It's not yours. It's just reacting to the environment. Your 5 senses are sensing the environment, and then your mind is interpreting those senses, and then that leads to your inner voice telling your body what to do. It's just continuous suffering. Even if it's human level happiness, it's still suffering because you desire the happiness and you attach to the happiness, right? So let's just breathe and be now and not be ourselves. Only be our true self. Okay. Peace.